What up? Jeffrey with all my Bitcoin Renegades. And tonight we are live with Six Fig Stock Trader. Say what's up, man.
What's up, man? Thanks for having me on your show. It's always good to link up with you and talk about the markets and stuff like that. Yeah, you've been just killing it on your channel with your live streams and stuff like that. So it's finally nice just to get a little time and
I know we've been trying to do this forever now. We've like week after week, we just couldn't pick like a certain time and day that worked for both of us. So now we finally did it.
Right. So yeah, I'm happy to be here. Thanks for having me on.
Yeah, it's actually a perfect time because with the Supernova Hackathon like coming to an end now, they're getting ready to pick the winners on the 30th, and things are just looking really good for ICP right now. And if you saw my live stream last night, which you did, I was telling everybody, like, not financial advice, but now is the time to be accumulating this crypto. If you're into a crypto like Internet Computer, there are times when you buy a crypto and when you don't. So when we're in a perpetual bear market and we've already lost 99% or 90 to 99% of the value of almost every crypto, it's called accumulation. That's what you do. It's a bear market. This is when the millionaires accumulate their stuff and they wait for a couple years or however long it takes for the next bull run to happen. So tonight we're actually going to be doing some updates on Supernova, and I want to get Six Fig's opinion on the Origyn Foundation, and we're going to talk a little bit about that and how it is, you know, kind of affecting the internet computer and where they're going to go from there. I was actually thinking about buying some Origyn tokens myself, so we'll look at that, and then if Six Figs has anything that he wanted to share on his screen or whatever, that would be cool too.
Right on.
Is it freezing for you? Because on here it looks like we're frozen.
You're coming in like perfect to me.
Okay, there we go.
Let me just check my I'll check my connection here. See what's up here. Bear with me.
Because you're coming in fine to me too, so
I gotta watch this commercial.
Okay. You got what?
I'm gonna watch this commercial here.
Oh.
Yeah, you're coming in clear across YouTube from what I can tell. At least on a PC. So
good. All right. So well, let's go in. I'm gonna share my screen here and we're gonna start looking at the price. We're gonna do some price prediction, but first I want to kind of give you guys an overview of what's happening with the internet computer. We didn't have a whole lot planned for tonight, but I think we have some juicy stuff for you. So let's get into it. So the Supernova Web3 Hackathon, we talked about this a lot yesterday, and they are actually giving away 765,000 in cash prizes, almost 3,700 participants. But what is your favorite? I wanted to ask you this because when I did my blog, I have my favorite categories, right, which is GameFi and social good. I was kind of wondering, like, where you stand on stuff like that. Like, what was your favorite Supernova category?
Yeah, so really, I haven't gotten the chance to dive into it, but whenever I see like these hackathons and stuff like that take place, I'm always interested in like gaming, and I'm always interested in like different dexes that pop up, stuff like that. Okay. And that's kind of where I get drawn to because I like to swap coins for other coins, and typically when we see like these hackathons, we'll see these new dexes just start popping up and trying to one up the old dexes. You know, we'll get a lot lower fees and stuff like that. And so it's always interesting to see that happen. But the gaming industry side of things, man, I'm excited for that, for especially internet computer, because the blockchain is just like so fast. It can just handle that type of thing.
And it can scale, right? I mean, gaming has how many people worldwide? So, I mean, if a lot of the gaming people actually went to the internet computer, it would be able to handle and scale all those people.
Right.
Do you think Decentraland or Sandbox are able to scale that way, being built on Ethereum?
Man, I'm seeing barriers to entry before we can even like launch the game through gas fees, whatnot. I mean, just you've got a point.
Okay,
I don't think so.
Before we get started, guys, we kind of forgot the business side of everything. Make sure to go follow Six Figs on YouTube and follow him on Twitter as well. Here's all my information, Bitcoin Renegade on Twitter, TikTok, and my website, bitcoinrenegade.net. And that's about it for that. So I do want to show you guys this right here. The submissions were due because, as Six Figs said, they increased the deadline by a day. It was supposed to be June 20th, and they submitted an extension. So now it was due June 21st, 11:45 p.m. And then our next round, actually, it's not going to be the 30th. The judges are going to decide on June 22nd at 12 a.m. Pacific Daylight Time, and it ends June 29th. So they are going to spend like a week doing this judging. So, and where did we find all those judges? Let's go look and see. I had that yesterday somewhere. It kind of showed all of the people involved. Maybe. Oh yeah, right here.
And there's
so here's many. All the judges. And so they're going to spend 7 days. I wonder how they're going to do it, because that's a lot of judges. Let's see. 4, 8, 12, 16 on that side, and 15 on. So they have 31 judges. And so, and they have how many projects that they're doing? Over 300 that made it.
Is that right? I'm not sure.
I believe it was somewhere around 300.
Okay. I didn't hear an official number, but if there's 300 that made it, that's significant. And there's probably going to be some good diamonds in the rough there.
Well, let's check to make sure, because I did tweet this, and I always like to make the best information that I can give. And it's going to be.
And one thing I liked about the hackathon is how much developers this event actually drew. Over 3,600. Like, that's insane. That's an insane amount of developers to build on an ecosystem. I mean, that's nothing to scoff at. That's pretty heavy stuff.
Oh, right here. Nope, not there. Dang it. Where did it go?
But yeah, it'll be interesting to see how these judges start grading things and how the community reacts to the awards and stuff like that as well. I did see that, I did see some names like Dominic on there, and
here we go.
It's going to be cool to see his take. But yeah, let's see.
What
do we
430 projects.
Wow.
I got the 3 mixed up. 430. That's why I was almost sure it wasn't 300. That's why I wanted to come in and look. So 430 out of 3,700 projects made it through. And I personally can't wait to see which projects there are. I wish they would give us a list of the projects that made it through, because they're just going to be judging on them. They should, but maybe there's a reason why they don't. I don't know the reason, but yeah.
So I've got a little hack that you can do if you want to check out what projects made it or are around. And basically all you have to do is go to like Kinnick. And if you want, I can share my screen here.
Yeah, please. Please do.
So you can go to Kinnick, and then basically you can just type in Supernova. And this is just what I saw through the Twitter Vine. And there are like a bunch of stuff. There is a bunch of stuff that just kind of shows up. Like Twitter, gummies, just a bunch of, there's pages and pages of.
And what are those?
Crazy
projects?
Yeah, right. So these are projects that came up when I typed in the keyword supernova. Okay. So these could quite possibly be projects that are being worked on right now or that were submitted. So we got Texas Hold'em. I'll just go ahead and click on one of these and see what comes up. But of course, I'm not at my computer.
Internet. Wow. This is going to be awesome, man. I can't wait for the next, things to happen.
Dude, like, it's going to be insane, the amount of stuff that comes up. But looks like a Supernova blog in Chinese.
Nice.
ICP squad. I did check this out because
What is
I
it?
wanted to mint my own ICP avatar. And
Yeah, I have one of those.
yeah, before like the last like 2 months, their
Mhm.
old version or something has been like broken. So I was finally able to get through, and I still gotta go create one.
Is that why I
Yeah.
can't see it on my Stoic wallet? Because I sent my ICP
Sure.
squad to my Stoic wallet. Now I can't see it.
Oh, okay. I'm not sure. But yeah, there's like a ton of stuff in here. I mean, so it is what it is.
Did you ever make your ICP squad one?
I have not. I tried to for like the longest time, and like every time I'd go to the app, it would say this app is being updated. Stay tuned.
No, I meant when you tried the new one.
Oh, I have not. I just literally found. Yeah, like 2 hours ago, I stumbled upon that. So
Yeah, I've
then
been searching.
I haven't.
Yeah, it's hard to find stuff on this, man. It's like there's not a lot, so that's why people should come and watch our videos, because we find this hard to find stuff.
Right. Here's something called, I'm not sure what this is. Invoices is NFTs.
Okay,
That's interesting. I mean,
it's different.
yeah, and to just give everybody a fair warning, I don't know. I would definitely err on the side of caution using or investigating some of these dApps right now, because they haven't, I don't know if they have been looked at or anything like that, for any possible bad acting going on behind the scenes. You know what I'm saying? So
exactly.
don't go logging in with your accounts and stuff like that. And I'm just saying, err on the side of caution. Right.
Yeah, because you never know when things are still being built. That's when there's flaws in the code. Maybe that's why they're not showing it to us yet, because they want to protect us. Like if you go into something that's not completely done yet, it means it's not completely secure. So they're probably keeping us safe. And so I kind of like that. It's the most secure blockchain, and they haven't lost any money, probably because they err on the side of caution, like you said.
Right. Yeah. So it is what it is. I am absolutely in love with Kinnick. Just finding stuff
like that, man.
And like, for me, I'm a big VR guy, so like I'll just type in like VR, and there's like so much stuff that comes up that's just like out there. It's insane. So yeah.
Right on.
Okay, that one game I'm excited about is that IC 1101 or whatever.
What is that? What do you mean?
It's some crazy. I'll see if I can find it.
Okay. Well, here, let me take your screen while you find that.
Good.
I will show some things that I wanted to kind of go over here. Where is it? Right here. So let's start talking about the Origyn Foundation. And this right here is something big that there's been big news about. This has been on Coinbase and pretty much everywhere. And what the Origyn Foundation basically is they're on a mission to identify, authenticate, and unlock the powers of ownership of objects of value. So if you understand what the Internet of Things are, it is basically any real world object that can be used as an NFT or as an online, tradable thing as an NFT or property, or anything that can be real world can now be put on the blockchain as well. And this is what they're trying to do. They're trying to, or not trying to do, this is what they're doing. They are bringing the value of ownership to the blockchain. And so identity, authentication, and proof of ownership entirely on chain and made possible. Guess what? So why I wanted to talk about, the Internet Computer. Why I wanted to talk about this is because a lot of people are only thinking that the Internet Computer is going to be just its own blockchain and it's going to do its own thing and it's not going to, be valued anywhere. And that's not right. The Internet Computer is not just its own thing, because it can be so scalable and it can be, so cheap to use and all of that. And it works at internet speed. That is the main thing why people are going to use it. So companies like the Origyn Foundation, they are going to use it so that they can work on the blockchain at internet speed, which isn't possible as far as I know anywhere else. And so you're going to see a lot of these companies start building on the internet computer or using its, source or what, it's, I'm not a real tech guy, so I don't know the behind the scenes of what they would use of the internet computer, but I think they can connect and use the blockchain at internet speed. And what do you think about that? Like, I don't know too much about that. You're more of a tech guy than I am. So how do you think that people are going to use the internet computer, like the system that they have, not just the governance and the token, but the blockchain used by other people? Do you see what I'm trying to say?
Yeah, absolutely. I think it, when it comes down to it, security is probably up there around number one. We need to make sure that we have a secure network to do business on, especially when we're talking about, hundreds and hundreds and billions of dollars, for that matter, worth of goods and services being sent across it. You mentioned that the internet computer moves at internet speed, which is awesome. Excuse me. And one thing that I love about it is when I'm moving money around an internet computer and I send money, or ICP for that matter, from one wallet to another, it's boom, instant. And it's so cool. And really, to touch on Origyn, I am so bullish on Origyn, primarily for their ability to fight counterfeit goods. And recently they have partnered up with this company called Watchbox out of California. Now,
do you have something to show?
I don't on my screen,
That's
but
okay.
Yep, but Watchbox is basically this company that sells. I wouldn't be surprised if their lowest dollar or their lowest priced watch was like 20,000. Now these watches go all the way up to like $800,000 million. And so what they are going to do is they are using the internet computers, basically, their internet speed, and they're partnering with Origyn, who is creating this DApp that will basically be able to identify watches through a simple scan of the watch. It's insane. So they're using like all this AI and machine learning to identify counterfeit watches. So they'll be able, so basically an end user can take their phone, like somebody at Watchbox, let's say, sells a watch to somebody in New York City. Okay, it gets shipped in the mail, $800,000 watch. It gets flown across the country. When that watch gets there, a person in New York City can do a simple scan using Origyn's DApp that they have built on ICP, and it will look for all these little tiny imperfections, and it will be able to like determine whether or not it's real or not. And there's some big players behind Origyn as well. Some of the founders include Paris Hilton, and it makes sense for Paris Hilton because she sells a lot of beauty products and things like that. And I'm assuming that she is just getting killed when it comes to like counterfeit goods leaking into the fashion industry with her name on it. So when it comes to Origyn, man, I love what they're doing. I am bullish on it. I currently do not hold any, but I'm
going to.
Yeah, I was an early investor into Origyn, and I basically made like 50% returns overnight. And so
you just got out.
I sold off, and I'm just like, I'm going to let this thing cool off. I basically
were they with Internet Computer at that time?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Oh,
yep. Okay. And so
you basically what? Sorry, I
interrupted. Yeah. Oh, yeah. No worries. It was basically, I think I threw in like 200 ICP. Next morning, I checked. My bag of Origyn was worth 300 ICP or 315 ICP. I'm like, you know what? Boom, done. Got out. I'm going to get back into it because I really do believe in the project, but I got a free ETH flower out of the deal. So
what? Oh, that's what you were talking about where you got the flower. Oh man. Didn't you get a free BTC flower too?
No, I didn't, but I've been eyeballing those as well. And
I was going to get into Origyn, man. I would have got an ETH flower, darn it. I just didn't have enough ICP that I had at the time, liquid. So that sucks. But I did want to talk a little bit more about what it is, at least on here, what we have, and kind of what it's doing. The internet. Whoa, sorry. Are we in the right place now? Yes. Origyn Tech is the first ICP ecosystem project to launch on the Internet Computer, on a mission to certify and the authenticity of the world's most valuable objects. Like you were talking about, this is going to be really good in fashion, in watches, maybe jewelry, gold, things like that, to make sure silver, to make sure that they're all real and, simple with a code. And it's run 100% on chain. So that means that internet speed. So imagine this. So you have a watch and you're at a Rolex dealer. Say it was built on Ethereum or Solana. And you want to know right away, you're in a hurry. You're like, man, you already made deals. You've been talking for months about this deal. And then you finally go in to buy the watch. Mm-hmm. Well, you do it and you give the money, but you can't authenticate it right away because it's on Ethereum or Solana. So it's going to take some time. Well, you're not going to stay there all day or the next day or however long it takes. So you leave with the watch. Well, now when you finally get the information, you find out the watch is a fake, that person doesn't exist anymore, and you just got ripped out of all of your money. Well, the internet computer, you'd go there, you'd scan it real quick, find out that's a fake, and then you'd be out of there. And it saves you anywhere from, $10,000 to 800 million or whatever it's worth, So that is just one example. The same thing could be with a car. I was watching this Tik Tok video the other day where a guy bought a Lamborghini, but it had a Pontiac Fiero motor in it, and it was completely a fake Ferrari. So these are the things that we're dealing with in an online world. A lot of, false goods, counterfeit. And this thing built on the internet computer is going to help solve that problem for the Internet of Things, right? So you can't just basically scam anybody. It's so secure, so fast, that's why I am definitely going to invest in this. It's 100% on chain, and it is going to be one of the best focuses of the next coming months, I think, for the Internet of Things, at least. Mm-hmm. Now, I don't have a whole lot more for today, except for I'm going to look at the price a little bit. Me and Six Figs have simultaneously, I did my video yesterday, and then, afterwards I'm like, okay, let's go, help out the homies. So I go and check out Crypto Airborne's video, and then I go over to Six Figs, and I watch his video. I'm like, dude, good video. And then I watch further. I'm like, wait a minute. He has the exact same stuff that I'm talking about, but he did it like 5 hours earlier, and I never saw it, so it was weird. And then that was just about the dev post, and then I look at his TA, and we're talking about the exact same breakout of that falling wedge. So it was just a coincidence, and we were talking earlier, like, yeah, we got the finger to the pulse of ICP right now. So I'm telling you guys, the two, best people on YouTube and Twitter right now, besides ICP Squad, because he's a boss. I love Victor, and Definity, so of course, are Six Figs and Bitcoin Renegade, man. We have our pulse to the internet computer, and check out Six Figs, man. He has some really good stuff over there. But let's get into the price. What I'm going to do is my little, beginner TA, and then I'm going to turn it over to the pro, and then he can school me or, kind of teach us a little more. So
I'm looking to get some lessons from you, bro.
Not on TA though. Maybe on other stuff, not TA.
For sure.
But 581 is what we're sitting at right now, and people are like, "Yeah, this was like a $750 coin." But you guys don't understand. That's just an initial coin offering. A lot of the crypto is like that. So now we have a basis. This is what I was waiting for, is to have a base price. And I know a lot of you might not agree. Oh, it's going to $3, it's going to $1. Well, I'll argue with that until it happens. But we have this crazy falling wedge that has just been going on for so long that it's a little bit tiresome talking about it, but it is still relevant. As you see, if you go like this, the very first one is right here, right? So we break out here, which is a nonchalant breakout again, and this is what's happened every time. No volume, or very, very little volume. And we just kind of use it as support and then move on. right? Then it happens again. We take it out a little bit further, and what does it do? It breaks out this time. That's a nice, good breakout, but see? All right, now we're into this one, and we go all the way down to here, and what happens again? Another falling wedge breakout. So, and the whole time, I mean, I could have had this one here, but it's basically the same thing every time, you know? And so basically, this is good. Like I said, when you have so much oscillation going back and forth from each side, this is what you want to look for a good breakout. And that's why I think it's going to happen. You know, even if we kind of stretch this out even further, and now we have this, we can keep doing that over and over and over until this breaks out in a real way, like to 9, 14, or even above here. So that is what I'm thinking on that. Now let's get some indicators out here, because I want to see the volume, because that to me is the most important part. I was bullish last night on my video, and look, we're actually doing pretty good because everything was looking pretty good in the charts last night. They just were. We were breaking above the simple moving average on the RSI, which we're still above. We actually went down and touched it right here, and now we're having a nice little pump up here, and we're not oversold, so that's good. The only problem I'm having is we don't have a lot of volume. Now, that is going to be the major thing to indicate a price move. Now, we don't need a whole lot of volume right now, not until Bitcoin moves. I really think that once, you know, Bitcoin starts to move before it moves majorly, you know, if you see Bitcoin start to move up, like, and all indicators are like saying there's going to be a pump, and you're just sure there's a pump, it's going to be risky. But that would be the best time to really know how to establish a level where you're at. So my price targets right now, I'm buying at 550, I'm buying at 560, and I'm buying at 565. Those are the three price targets that I want to purchase this at, because I believe that it isn't going to go much lower than this 460. I said $5, and I'm going to stick to that. So you can't get closer than 460 when I predict $5. So I like that. The only thing is, oh wait, that wasn't the right one. It was right here. Wait a minute, what just happened here?
Did you?
Okay, I don't know why it won't let me do that anymore, but anyway, who cares about that? I'm just not going to do it. That was weird. It just kept going up here to the crypto stuff. Like,
Oh, okay.
I don't know. Anyway, sorry about that, guys. Bear with me for a second, as Six Fix says.
Trading View is crazy. Like, Trading View is probably, I love Trading View, but it is so glitchy sometimes. It's really hard to work with.
Yeah, I can get glitchy too, so. But okay, now let's look at this VWAP, because that is super important, and why I was really talking about it yesterday, because when we were above it, we moved up to the upside, right? That means we had enough volume to sustain price movement. That's what it means. So basically, we're at 587 right now, all around the board, 586, 58 or 587.6. So basically, we don't have enough volume to sustain movement until we get above $5.87. Then it means that we're on par for enough volume to move to the upside. But as you see on the daily, we're good on the RSI. I'm just going to go quickly to the 4-hour. I'm not going to talk about the weekly as much until Sunday, because that's when I do my weekly chart analysis. But
Sure.
we're doing pretty good right here on the RSI, even on the 4-hour. But we're starting to get a little bit close to oversold. We're not there yet, though. So as long as we stay above this moving average and below 70, we can continue to go to the upside. But it really depends on Bitcoin. Really, I mean, that is just all it comes down to. Where is Bitcoin even at? I haven't looked at it today, which is very rare.
20 something.
21? Okay.
Okay, I can do that.
Not bad. Not bad.
I can do 21.
So yeah, Bitcoin went up a little bit. Internet Computer is going up. But this Supernova Hackathon, whether it be right now or in the future, how much was it? 430 new projects. I'm going to write that down so I don't forget. 430 new projects. Just say each one of them brings in 10,000 ICP to their project, right? So if you think about that, $5, that's about $50,000 a project. What is $50,000 times 430? Let's just see if we can do a little bit of math. 2 million something?
20 million?
Okay, let's see. 430 times 50K. $21,500,000. So that is basically just like some kind of an estimate, not a good one, just like a real out of nowhere prediction, kind of left field. But that's just a what if. So if 430 new projects all bring in $50,000 a piece, then that's $21.5 million in the ecosystem, right? And that is just if the beginning. And if they bring in 50,000 a month, that's 21 million a month, right? Wow. So, and then it can get bigger and bigger and bigger, and then you start talking 250 million, and on and on. So those are the things I want to look for. Now we're going to look at the smaller time frames because this is really going to tell us where we're at. And as you see on the 30-minute, we're starting to get oversold here. But we are still above the simple moving average, which is good. If we get oversold, and then if this thing comes up like right around here and we go under it, then we're going to have a retracement a little bit. So let's look at the 15 minutes just to see how oversold we are. Okay, good. It's looking not that bad. So we have been having a nice little rise here. And I'm not doing a lot of patterns lately. I'm just kind of using these indicators more because I don't see a lot of established patterns right now. This could have been kind of an inverse head and shoulders right here. Mm-hmm. But I don't know, man.
Yeah. No. There's a little lack of a neckline structure there.
That's what I was thinking. Yeah, no neckline. But I think this was some kind of a ascending wedge, maybe?
Yeah, I was just going to say that looks like one.
A little bit. That's probably not the greatest, but yeah. So ascending wedge, now we have this kind of other flat spot. So when we go up and then go sideways, that is always bullish. Up and then sideways. As long as it doesn't go down and it stays kind of at the same, resistance level, then we normally break to the upside if it's going up, right? And it's the same if it's going down. So my TA wasn't the best today. I'm sorry, guys. But we are getting kind of oversold on the 15-minute. But the 30 minutes looking decent. Yeah, it really is. Even though we're getting up there. The hour, it's looking, okay. We are really looking nice. But this could signify a reversal because we are getting really almost oversold. Now, on the 4 hour, it doesn't look as bad. We're still up to about 57, but it's cool.
What is the week? Are you able to see the weekly at all?
I am. I normally save that for Sunday, but we can look at it.
I was just curious look at that RSI, man. This thing hasn't pumped above 30, I don't think. When ICP starts pumping and we get that 70, 80, yeah, you're gonna be hoping that you got in on this project for sure.
It's only $5. Right. It is only $5.
Right. It's like a deal for sure.
I don't get it, man. So I want to reiterate this before I, turn it over to the pro. Now is the time, guys. Not financial advice, but yeah. I told my neighbor when Bitcoin was at 14 or 9,000. I told everybody. I get a feeling for these things when something's at a price. I see what they have to offer. You do your research. How many hours have I spent researching ICP now? At least 100 hours or more. So I believe in this project, and I'm going to let you know I probably spent that much time researching Bitcoin before I bought it at $9,000. So that's why I say do your research, and that doesn't mean do one Google search and then that's my research. No, dude, it takes time, and then you have to research your situation. Can I afford this? How much can I afford to put away? Am I going to go to ice hockey ring this week? Am I going to go play pool? Or am I going to just maybe stay at home and use that money and put it into crypto, which is disposable income? Something that, let's go to the movies. Well, instead of spending $150 at the movies, how about we put $150 into Internet Computer, and then, or even don't get popcorn at the movies. Spend $75. Put the other $75 in there. I'm not saying stop having fun. You can still live your life. Don't put more money in the market you can afford to lose, and it will change your life. Crypto's changed my life. Definity's changed my life by taking a chance on me. They have really helped me build my website. They've helped me like feel better about who I am as a creator. And that to me, and treated me like a human being, unlike a lot of the other companies and other people. That's why I navigate towards Six Figs. I navigate towards Crypto Wendy, because they treat me like a human. They treat me like a person. And that's all I ask out of people. So, but now's the time. Now is the time.
You know what? I agree with you, dude. Like, when it comes down to like all that, you know, everybody's situation is going to be different. You know, there might be somebody making, you know, $200,000 a year that can't afford $100 a month on crypto, but then there could be somebody making $20,000 a year that can afford $200 worth of crypto a month. So it's like everybody's situation is different. It just depends. But piggybacking off what you said about like Crypto Wendy and Definity and yourself, and you know, really they have transformed my life beyond my wildest dreams. Just, you know, Crypto Wendy taking the chance to have both of us on her show. So big shout out to her. Like,
yeah, thank
incredible,
you,
incredible.
A lot.
You know, then one thing leads to another. I get hooked up with you, start networking, and then boom, here we are making content for Definity at a super high level. And it's like, you know, you see a lot of people out there and all they do is become toxic sludge on Twitter, and they don't do anything to contribute to the crypto ecosystem or anything like that. Like, here we are getting paid to do it.
And you have like, a poke studio bot that has that sludge on it. I saw it.
Yeah,
that sludge. That's the Twitter sludge that's dripping off of your poke bot.
Yeah, I bought that poke bot too. So
that thing's cool, man. I like it.
Yeah, it was. But you know, I just you know, it is what you put into it. This whole industry, if you're willing to take a chance, it will reward you like you've never ever dreamed of.
I feel like I'm Eminem and you're Dr. Dre. Gave me a chance and I lit a fire up under. No.
It could be either way, dude. Like, but it's definitely. I'm very thankful for the last 3-4 months of my YouTube, I guess, if you want to call it.
That's the same with me, because it took like a year before I made any money on YouTube. 1 full year. Mm-hmm. Now, right. I did get offers before I found Definity too, but I haven't found an offer that was good, you know, for my channel and stuff. So it all worked out. And honestly, I didn't think I was going to get the Definity grant. If you want me to be honest, like at the beginning, I was like, I'm going for this, but honestly, I'm probably not going to get it. I have like 1,700 subscribers. I'm new to the scene. Like, and then when they took a chance on me, like, it made me just want to work that much harder and like prove that they did the right thing. And then I was able, dude, if we wouldn't have met on Crypto Wendy, I probably wouldn't have told anyone else about it. Like, I knew about this grant. I wasn't telling people about it. Like, sometimes I would mention it, but I wouldn't mention on how to get it or what to do. And we just connected. Like, we hit it off on Wendy, and like you contacted me, and like, you know, we just had a lot in common, and it was great, man. So I appreciate everything, you know, that you've done for my channel, and just, you know, been a good friend to me, man. I appreciate that. So let's get into more about these price predictions, because I'm really intrigued to see the TA that you have, see if there's any like falling wedge or inverse head and shoulders, And you just have some real good technicals. I love your Ichimoku clouds and stuff like that. So I'm going to turn it over to you and let you school us a little bit.
Right on, right on. So, what everybody's seeing here is basically a gigantic falling wedge. This is something that we love to see, especially. I am a big pattern guy. I like patterns because they're recognizable, and there's a great chance that a lot of times they will repeat themselves. History repeats itself based off certain patterns and things like that. So when we see that we've got these huge, just multi-month, multi-year patterns like this falling wedge, man, I get super, super bullish just on this. And so when we just kind of connect all these wicks in this upper trend line here, we can really kind of see that price is really lurking towards this trend line. And depending on how precise you are at placing this upper trend line, you could even make the argument that, hey, we have breached this trend line. So now are we going to see price action rush upwards? It's a possibility. I mean, we've got this pinch point happening. I mean, I would think that if anything, let's just say we see the market kind of stumble the next few days, we could see this wick down to the $4.50 somewhere in there. But if that happened, my hope would be that we would just be coming down to test this upper trend line to bounce forward. One thing, folks, about Ichimoku cloud trading is that, like I was kind of saying in a video I did yesterday, I kind of think of the cloud as planet Earth, and then the price action is kind of like the moon. And it really, when price action gets too far away from these Ichimoku clouds, especially on larger time frames like the daily chart, the Earth, the Ichimoku cloud, kind of pulls. There's kind of that gravity where it just sucks the price right back towards it. So that's the main reason I love Ichimoku clouds, because it kind of gives me an idea of when I can sell and when I can maybe attempt to catch that falling knife sometimes. So I don't advocate trying to catch the falling knives whatsoever. But
is that like bottom, like trying to call the bottom?
Right, exactly. So let's just kind of look at this at a super high level. So we're going to throw this into logarithmic mode. And this is kind of one of my more favorite things to do. And when we speculate like on price, especially with ICP, I believe the original token, initial launch, I think the price was supposed to be around like $80 or something like that, somewhere in there. $80 to $100 in that range. I think that's what I heard Dominic say. I'm not attempting to put words into his mouth by any means, but I think it was somewhere in that range. And then, as we all know, the price got manipulated by FTX's perpetual futures beforehand. And there's actually a lot of data in the perpetual futures chart that I could show you here in a second that basically is kind of hidden from everybody. So when we look at all this stuff, I think, it would be fair to say that this thing maybe hit around $700 on some exchanges from what I can tell. Dfinity thinks it was somewhere around the $400-ish level. But I like to just kind of speculate on a few things here. The number one thing is that we have quite possibly a gigantic inverse head and shoulders that could be forming here. We just don't know until we could possibly get some sort of neckline. So the one thing that I'm going to be looking for here is this neckline, and I'm hoping that we see price come up to like this $28 level, and I'm hoping that maybe we see this right shoulder form and maybe we can launch to the moon. But
okay, I don't want to interrupt you too much, but I
Yep.
want to learn from you right here. So we can have an inverse head and shoulders diagonally. It doesn't have to just be flat. Okay.
Right. Yeah. Yep. Really, when I look at a head and shoulders or an inverse head and shoulders pattern, the main thing for me is just I need to have that neckline. So I just like from right
explain
here,
that neckline to us, like how it is.
Yeah. Let's find a inverse head and shoulders here, or a head and shoulders perhaps. So bear with me. I'm just going to let's just go and look at like a 15-minute chart here, and I'm sure
Yeah,
we can
there
see
should be
some.
one on a 15.
Oh
Definitely.
yeah. So this might be a good example.
Oh, there's one. Yep.
Yep. So we could see that, yeah, we might have something kind of right in here where we have, yeah, we can just start this right here, but you guys will be able to see that, hey, you know what, there might be some sort of inverse head and shoulders here,
On an
and you can
angle.
see it
Okay.
led to higher prices later. When we look at inverse head and shoulders, things like that on smaller time frames, we tend to get smaller results. But when we
Cool.
see these big inverse head and shoulders and these big patterns playing out,
That's
dude,
huge. That would be, I mean, what would the price target of that be? It would be from the bottom of the head to the top of the neckline, right? So that would be so massive. I mean, where would that bring us?
so let's just talk about that a little bit, and then the one point that we know we have extremely solid resistance at for ICP. A lot of this early stuff here was just manipulated, and then we saw the bad timing. We guys got to remember, May 10th happened. That was when Elon Musk dropped those tweets, and the whole entire crypto market dropped 50% in like a week. So Definity's Internet Computer launch couldn't have been at a worse time. So we had FTX manipulation, then we had that happen, and then it was just like, this looks like a rug pull to me, which it's not. But it, from anybody looking at the chart, they're going to be like, what the heck happened here, without that background knowledge of what happened. And so when we look at this $86 price tag, this is what I'm getting excited about, is this $86 price tag. That's going to really be our first hardcore price exploration point of resistance, in my opinion.
That's
So
the top of the wedge, isn't it?
yep. So this is up here. And so what we're going to do is just drop this Fibonacci extension down here. And really, really what we can do is just take a quick peek at this. We can see that there's some of these price points to pay attention to: $24, $36, $45. So these could potentially be points of interest for price on the way up. And really, when we are measuring Fibonacci extension across this vast of a price difference, you can see that, bear with me one second, that it doesn't really change much. I mean, so we could go down to, a dollar, 86 cents, and you can see that these price points still are fairly the same. So there's the kind of like this point of no return, and we have really reached that point of no return. So with that said, when I look at this in hindsight, we can see how nice price action has really played within these channels. We can see that it tested the bottom here, tested the top off this line here, came down, tested this here, test here, test right here. So we know that price action is playing really nice within this structure, which is something that I love to see. And if we just look, I mean, we're looking at, if this thing maxes out, $399 ICP. I mean, we've seen stranger
the top
things.
of the fib is how much?
About $400. And really, it's been higher, realistically. ICP at one point during its launch was ranked number 3 in the entire.
What?
Yeah, it was.
Dude, do you have a
Bitcoin.
picture of that? I need a picture of that.
I don't, but it was Bitcoin, Ethereum, Internet Computer. So it has it it has a chance. And I mean, we look at just some more. I mean, let's look at some more like modest prices. Okay, so the 61.8, we're talking the golden ratio, $55. We have this 127, which is a popular reversal point. I can zoom in here. The 127 is a very common point for traders to reverse positions, maybe start shorting if they were, had bull positions open. The 161.8 is at about $138. So really, I'm paying attention if we start to see ICP climb, especially above the 786 at about $69, $69, if we see it climb higher than that, uh, be on the lookout. I'm just saying, man, I think that this thing is very undervalued, this project. And I don't think a lot of people really understand internet computer until they actually start using like the NFT marketplaces, until they actually start trying to send money from exchanges and stuff like that. It's so fast. I just I'm in absolute love with the tech, and without you, I probably wouldn't have investigated internet computer, and we probably would have never found out, and connected the dots that there was all this shenanigans that happened
I
behind the
know,
scenes
dude.
at launch, man. So it was
I
like
love
just
that.
this crazy ride.
It was
So
meant to
I
be.
think that it's destined to do good things here. It's kind of the underdog in the fight,
Yeah.
my personal
So
opinion.
where is that Ichimoku cloud price target?
So I'm sorry, can you say that again?
Well, maybe I'm misunderstanding. Like it pulls it up, right? If I'm understanding, it's like a
Oh,
magnet. So where would
yeah.
the price target be if it pulled it up?
It's tough to say.
Okay,
It's
so it's
really
not
tough to
like I'm
say.
thinking it isn't just going to go to that line, but if it does,
Right.
that signals like a if we go through it, really bullish.
Right. And
Okay.
it really is one of these things. It's one of these tools that you just kind of have to get used to looking at. And this is one of my more favorite things to do. Sometimes if I'm just chilling at home or something,
Hmm.
I'll throw a bunch of ICP on an exchange, and I will look for patterns, especially bearish patterns, to show up, and I'll go ahead and sell my ICP. Hopefully the price goes down, and I'll just rebuy back in and accumulate more and more and more and more. And this is where I use uh, the Ichimoku cloud, especially like on quick pumps, like on the 5 minute chart, stuff like that. You'll see price action just flailing like a leaf all over the place.
Okay. See, that's
So,
what I'm talking about right there is when it
mhm,
touches that line and it can break out right there.
yep.
So that's what I was asking. Like, what is the price target on the Ichimoku cloud right now? Like the bottom and the top of it on the daily.
Yeah, so on the daily, that's the thing with the Ichimoku cloud. You really can't. It doesn't really give you price targets per se.
Oh, okay.
It just kind of tells you where the
Well, you can kind
momentum
of
is.
look and then go to the side and see where it kind of
Yeah,
lies.
yeah. I mean, you can certainly do measurements and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Like if we measure this farthest point here to this cloud, and let's just say we measure it from like right here. I mean, I'd be more apt just to throw up a Fibonacci extension or something like
I
that
agree.
to try to
Okay.
find that. And
I was just trying to see if there was anything there, you know?
yeah,
Throw a
hey,
noodle at a wall, see if it'll stick.
you got to investigate that stuff for sure. Absolutely. It is what it is. I think that, when we look at the Ichimoku cloud, whenever price action can maintain dominance above the Ichimoku cloud, and we can set up in some sort of bullish formation, like an ascending triangle or some sort of bull pennant or bull flag, like boom, that's what I love to see on
Oh,
top of
and
the
that's one
cloud.
you called really well is that bear flag, man. You called
Okay.
I was like arguing with you on that. I'm like, man, I don't believe Six Figures is calling a bear flag, and then it played
Oh,
out. I was like, oh my god, dude. So that
yeah.
was a good call on your behalf.
Yeah, so it's just it. I mean, it just is what it is. Man, I'm like everybody else. My
Yeah.
eyes are just glued. I've been looking at charts for I couldn't tell you how many years and years and years,
Oh, okay.
and
You can
it's
tell
just
that skill. You know, you that experience is there for sure.
yeah, it's something. It's like everything else. Whatever time you put into it is what you'll get out of it. So,
Exactly.
my opinion. But hey, piggybacking off this TA, let's just check out Bitcoin quick, if
Yes,
you don't
please.
mind. So
No,
with
go for it.
Bitcoin, I was kind of messing around with Bitcoin earlier. And so I drew this trend line from the August 15th bear market, this spike downwards. the coronavirus crash, and then I extended this line upwards. And really, what we got
Careful saying
was
that word.
it's all good. And so what we got is price action really leaning up against this trend line here. So I'm hoping that Bitcoin doesn't really break this. And I also threw this idea out there as well. I think that there could possibly be some sort of head and shoulders pattern that is playing out with Bitcoin as well.
Inverse head and shoulders. Yeah.
Right. And I mean, I could totally see something like this
Oh,
playing
and it
out over
follows
the
that
next few
upward
years.
trending support line.
Yeah, possibly, because it's done that so far. But here's another
Wow.
interesting thing. So I'm going to get rid of all this. And this is just very speculative stuff. But one thing that I have up is called the Bitcoin Investor Tool. If you want to hack the Bitcoin Investor Tool and you don't want to pay for it, all you have to do is really throw up a moving average with a 730-day, moving average, and then you will get this line here. But in previous historical instances with Bitcoin, whenever price dropped below this 730-day moving average, this was just a genuinely good time for people to load up for the next bull run. So we saw this back in 2015. We saw this back in the 2018, 2019 bear. We saw this briefly in 2019 and more so in 2020 when we had that coronavirus dip. So these are all great times to really accumulate crypto. Now we are down underneath the 730-day moving average, and we can see it is what it is. It just is. So I'm hoping that we will just kind of trade sideways and continue marching on. Really. So yeah, it's going to be interesting to see what happens.
I agree. So with Bitcoin right now, it is a lot of uncertainty in the world, and that's the only reason that I think that we're down this far. I just saw I don't know if it's my first one, but one of the ones that I noticed, a Bitcoin commercial. And I'm like, man, does that mean mass adoption is legitimately like here? Are we, at that point right now where mass adoption is around the corner? I have a Bitcoin ATM at my Safeway. That was the first one I'd ever seen. They turned a Coinstar into a Bitcoin ATM. And I was like, wait, I can go and trade all of my pennies for Bitcoin now? I can trade pennies for Satoshis? And
sick.
for real. And so that is different. In 2017, that wasn't a thing. Right. So when people are saying it's a bubble, well, bubbles don't build things to last. Bubbles build things to break because it's a bubble. They know it's not going to be around for a while. Well, it's a hedge against inflation. So far, it's not a 1-year hedge against inflation, guys. It's not a 6-month hedge against inflation. It's a 4-year or more hedge against inflation. You have to hold Bitcoin for at least 4 years if you are using it to hedge inflation, period. You can't just say, oh, I'll hold it for 2 weeks. Inflation ain't going to hurt me. Well, does inflation happen every 2 weeks? Or does it happen every year or every, or every several years? I don't know. Does inflation happen every year? Or is it like it
depends on the economic situations. Yeah.
So it isn't like, every year, inflation goes up. No. So why would Bitcoin do that then? If it's a hedge against that. So come on, guys. We get it together. We got this. We're going to figure it out. Yeah. Accumulation, dollar cost average, and don't just set a dollar cost average on Coinbase. Don't set it on Binance because it will buy it at a bad price. I almost guarantee you that. I've tried it several times. It never works out. But if you always buy the dip, accumulate at these certain levels, imagine if you would have just started buying like fake news. This guy, he is literally buying 100 ICP at a time. Well, if it didn't stay at $5, so instead it, let's see, 100 times 5, $500, right? So $500 for 100 ICP right now, almost $600. So imagine if it was $20. So then instead of getting 100, you're only going to be able to get a fourth of that, which is 25. So even if we only go up to $20, this guy is going to make bank.
Yeah.
He's going to quadruple his money.
Right.
It's pretty easy to navigate when you're at the bottom. I love this bear market. I was dreading the fall to it, but I was waiting for it. The only bad part of a bear market is getting to it. Once we're in it, it's like Scrooge McDuck in his money bin.
Right. Right. It really
Just swimming
is.
in our gold, baby.
And really, like, yeah, just getting that bleeding to stop is so huge. Like,
we need it to clot, man. We need it to clot.
Yeah, it's been bad since November of 2021. People act like we just got in a bear market. Well, things have been bad since November of 2020.
You know why?
Looking back,
ETFs. Like 2 days later, it started to drop and never stopped. I mean, is that just a coincidence or like legit? When was the first American Bitcoin ETF?
and I did a video
October 19th, 2021.
Okay,
so less than a month.
A month after the all-time highs, we saw stuff start tanking.
So those ETFs, and that was just the first one, though. Maybe it wasn't the first one that destroyed it, then another one, then another one, then another one, then all the way down. No stopping, no reversal pumps. That's what I was thinking. I was thinking we're going to have a relief. There is, on the way down, we're at least going to see a nice pump. And I think that happened once on the way down, because I remember the graph going up to like 70 cents again or something when it was way down, like at 40, and then it went up to 70. But that was the only, we had one relief on the way down, and that was it. And everybody else, super cycle. Oh, 4-year cycles are done. We're going to 100K, and I kind of fell for that a little bit, you know, like. And now I don't really watch as many videos on YouTube just because I don't want to get polluted, like on stuff I shouldn't hear. That's like, I love people's content, but you never know when you're hearing news that could affect you down the road. And you're like, no, they're saying it's going to 100K. And that thought in your mind is like, okay, I'm not going to sell my Bitcoin at 60K, or I'm only going to sell half of it because just in case it does go to 100K. And that's what I did. I sold half of my Bitcoin at like 63K. Oh, no. And I should have sold it all. But
yeah, you know, touching back on that whole, you know, that Bitcoin ETF thing, I did a video called "Bitcoin ETFs Could Destroy the Crypto Ecosystems."
No, you didn't.
Love.
No, you didn't.
And I did this on I did this on October 8th, 2021, because I was
before the ETF.
Dude, I said Bitcoin ETFs could destroy the crypto ecosystems that we all love.
That's fire.
Really, I got so much FUD in the comments. It was insane. And I don't know whether it's a coincidence or not. Bitcoin tanked right after that. But, you know, it is what it is. I can drop you a link in the private chat here.
I have to put this comment up there, dude.
Oh, hey, it's a great balance, man.
It is. We kind of like even each other out, dude. It's weird.
Yeah. We got a lot of people here in the comments too. Nice.
Yeah, man. It was a good night tonight. We did good. Nice. You know, my channel's, I think it's starting to heal from whatever happened. So I'm glad that, you know, we had a good video, man. We had a good turnout. Everything worked out pretty good. We had some, you know, good information. I want to know so much more about the Supernova Hackathon. That's really good information you had with Knick. Just everybody, don't go to Knick and start, you know, giving everybody your internet identity and stuff. Please just wait until the Supernova Hackathon is like done and they release the projects for your safety. I just don't want anything to happen to you guys. I'm not saying you might be able to go over there and play it, right? But just like Six Fig said, err on the side of caution when it comes to giving any information out not on a verified platform already. So just be careful with that, but or be patient. It'll be out like 8 days, so we'll be good. So I think that we're gonna wrap it up. I think this was a great video and great audience today, man. Thank you guys for showing up. I didn't see King Love, but he let's say good luck to him because he might have found a lady. So maybe
Yeah.
I don't want to speak out of turn. I don't know if he's gonna get mad that I said that, but good luck to him, man. I really like it. Made my day. I was like, man, good luck, dude. I really like to see people be happy. So especially my moderators.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So
you know what I can't believe though is
What?
that he would choose the lady over coming to moderate your channel.
Come on, man.
Come on,
That's funny, dude.
No,
All right,
I'm
guys.
happy for him.
Well, that's going to be it for tonight. If you want us to do more collaborations like this, let us know in the comments, man, and we'll do more. We just kind of get our schedules together and put out some fire, especially when the Supernova Hackathon and all those, new projects start coming out, and when the price of ICP starts going from $10 to $20, we're really gonna. I mean, all this content that we made right now, in about a year, I really see it blowing up. Because when the price starts going up, that's when everybody's going to be like, ICP, how do I get ICP? How do I stake it? Oh my God, FOMO. And when you could have just been buying at $5 the whole time.
Right.
All right, guys, that being said, you know what time it is. Goodbye and good ICP and Bitcoin. Bang.